industry of like adult films. Was it what you expected doing your first scene? You had been doing loose golf off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I have implants.
I feel like I know of things somewhere. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
They can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
Happy Monday. It is the 21st of October, the year of our Lord, 2024. Can you believe it is October already? I mean, this is crazy. I thought it was still summer. Like, what happened to the sun? What happened to everything? It's gone. I don't know about you guys. I know that some people like the fall. Happy belated birthday, Paul. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the fall. Hey, Ben, how are you? Hola. I don't know. I think the fall is different in every place around the world. One thing I do miss about living in Scandinavia is the gorgeous Scandinavian fall. I mean, there's nothing like it. Just the sun and the way it beams into like all the beautifully colored leaves just drop from the trees into the forests and so forth. Yeah. Anyway, it's coming up to that time of the year where it is election time. Early voting has opened in some states. It opens this Saturday in California. So I guess I know where I'll be going the day before I leave for Japan. Hey, Scott, how are you? It will be my second trip to Japan. I'm excited about it. I was there around this time last year and it was extremely hot. So let's see what time it is in Japan right now to see if I will be streaming from there. So let's see. At this time next week, it'll be 9:30 a.m. in the morning, Japanese time. So yes, I will be doing the live stream from Japan. So let's see what it's going to be like there. Hopefully it'll be really warm. I'm hoping. I don't know. We'll find out. But I do know the hotel is simply stunning. It's got views of the harbor in Shin Yokohama, and it's right across the street from a beautiful amusement park. Next Monday will also be, actually I arrive next Monday at 3 p.m. So no, I will not be live streaming because I am not allowed to live stream from the plane. Rightfully so. It's kind of like an invasion of other people's privacy when you start having a video camera going and all this stuff. By the way, did any of you see that freak out at Delta Airlines? It was about a boarding pass. And literally, one of the guys who jumped over, one of the security, he literally ate shit. Hey, John, how are you? I don't know who else saw that whole debacle from Delta Airlines. I was just trying to see a friend of mine. Yeah, okay. To see if he even replied to that. All he said was, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it was pretty crazy because you just don't see that kind of thing all the time. In any case, today's guest, we have the wonderful and gorgeous and delightful Micky Lynn. Some of you know her from like the 90s and of course, maybe current day. I mean, she is out there. She is active still in the adult film business. Not exactly doing films anymore, but I think a lot of these girls have taken on the whole new form of, what do you call it? OnlyFans, which obviously I am way too lazy to keep up with and post and do everything like that. But maybe I'll start posting some things while I'm in Japan. And I'm sorry, yeah, for those of you just joining, next Monday will be a challenge to have a live stream because I will still be on my flight to Japan as I leave Sunday night or Sunday morning, LA time. But I don't arrive into Japan until like 3 p.m. or 2:30 the next day. But I'm excited. I can't wait to go back and work for Big Japan Wrestling. They've never really had a lot of female wrestling managers at these companies. So it's totally something different and it's a lot of fun. I know that there are a few people out there, mostly some other women in wrestling that don't think I should be there. But hey, you know what? Quel dommage. You snooze, you lose. And yeah, that's it. Really, that's how it goes. Wrestling can be a pretty cutthroat business, which reminds me, WrestleCon is coming up in Las Vegas. I will be there. I will have a table. I'll be live streaming some interviews from there, but I'm lining up some guests, not like deathmatch wrestling people, actual guests. So some of them I'm speaking to from ECW and former WWE talent. So hopefully I'm going to get the top 3 on my list. One of them is one of my ex-coworkers from ECW who I simply adore, and she's just simply stunning. And one of the better looking divas in the WWE, who's a brunette. So she and I are working out details this year, since I have a new business partner that I'll be doing a lot of these signings with and lining people up. So is everyone getting out to vote, like do early voting? I really hope everyone is, because that will make the difference this year, especially people that are on our side of things. Shit's getting really bad in California, as we all know. I think I finally started looking up apartments in Florida, like in different areas of Florida. And I found a couple that I really like. So next year, the goal is to relocate to another state that is red. By the way, how many of you read that Jasmin St, he's some actor. He did some good movies. I think one of the good movies he did was when he portrayed David Foster Wallace. And David Foster Wallace actually wrote about me in one of his books called Consider the Lobster. So I thought that was pretty cool, but it's interesting. You get these Hollywood libtards who are probably pretty boring in person. I mean, I've met quite a few that are pretty boring, but they play the most interesting people. You know, it's David Foster Wallace was interesting. He was cool. But you have a little dote like Jasmin St, who played him and now wants to move to a small town. So what does Mr. Jasmin St want with a small town? Is it to bring your filthy Hollywood liberal shit there and fuck it up? No, people like that should just stay in the towns where they vote this crap into and deal with it and clean up their mess. Don't come to red towns. Don't come to small towns to ruin them. That's just my thoughts. Northern Florida, stay away. What are some Northern Florida towns? Let's just get into that. Melbourne, Vieira, Winter Park. I'm thinking Central Florida. Of course, my guest today is from Florida. So she has her own ideas of places that are good to, to do this. How many of you could actually guess where I just came from? It's the same place I go to every Monday before I do my live stream. It's just the time of the day I go there. If that makes any sense. I always go to the gym in the afternoon for some reason. I don't know what it is. I think in the morning I'm always busy on phone calls and emails because I do stuff overseas all the time, and I'm always on phone with people in Europe, etc., etc. So it just makes it super hard. Yeah, I know. It makes it very hard sometimes for me to be on the doing my live streams and podcast recordings. This week's guest on Krazy Train that I just had was Tiffany Chan, who is a holistic sexual healer. One of my favorites, by the way. She's gorgeous. And it's funny because a guy friend of mine saw her, and he doesn't really listen to the podcast that much. Just sometimes he's like, oh, she's really pretty. Who's that? So he listened in, and he was getting a lesson on sexual holistic healing, I guess. I don't want to know what his whole thing was because the guy is just friends with me. It's completely platonic. And in fact, it is my friend whose son beat the living shit out of a drag queen during Drag Queen Story Hour in New Jersey at 11 years old. So kudos to that kid. I think he deserves a Ferrari. Yeah, she is very pretty, John. I know. Very pretty girl. And she's very immersed and knowledgeable in Japanese culture, as she spent a lot of time there with the Goishins. And that's a very artistic thing. It's part of the whole Japanese culture with the temples and so forth. It was an interesting interview for sure. Then I went ahead and delved into the 90s for the next for my next interview with Mike Quasar, who was a camera guy for the adult film business in that era. It was fun catching up with him. He didn't list me as the most difficult person to work with, by the way. I'm sure everyone was expecting that. And then I also had another really fun time speaking to Sarah Rusi, who has this amazing platform, okay, on TikTok. Her specialty on TikTok content is stay-at-home girlfriend content, which I think is very appealing to the alpha male. And I'll tell you why. Because there are so many girls in that age group that are so caught up in this fourth wave of feminism, where they no longer believe in girls doing or women doing, you know, womanly things. That was Micky Lynn. You know, like baking or cooking or making drinks or even cleaning. Well, I have a maid, but still. You know, baking a zucchini casserole. It's my second zucchini casserole I'm on this week, by the way, because I bought these insanely huge zucchinis at the farmer's market and I had to use them. These things are like humongous, illegally humongous, and they are natural. One thing that I did see, though, at the farmer's market, again, and I urge everyone to be careful, if you are shopping at your local farmer's market, be careful. I saw a woman peeling off a Ralph's label, Ralph's like supermarket label from something and putting it out there for sale like it was organically grown from her farm. Bitch, Ralph's is not a farm. That is a chain store. So I thought that was pretty tacky. And secondly, like how she got all of those yellow squash is another, I'm sure it's another story and it's very questionable. But that's one thing. When I do shop at these places, I'm very picky about what I buy and who I buy it from. My favorite tangerine juice comes from a farm up in Ojai or close to there, or Lompoc, California, where it's a heavy farmland. Is anyone out there voting right now? I mean, who else had early voting? Did you guys have it yet in Pennsylvania? What's going on? California, it starts on the 26th. I am working at the polls at the local polling station. When I get back from Japan, I'm there for 3 days. I just learned that it is a crime to ask someone for voter ID, which I think is really weird because it should be a crime to actually vote without actual ID. Or is that just me? I mean, I don't know. Call me whatever you want to, but I think that's just flat out ridiculous. The famous midget dude. Yes. Okay. So that famous midget dude, Mason Reese, Loch Ness, did you just change your screen name? Anyway, yeah, his name was Mason Reese, and I believe if someone could find out which commercials he was in, Loch Ness, can you find out for me, please? I forgot what commercials, but he's a bit of a weirdo, okay? Because I saw him at a bar in New York about 10 years ago. And Sarah's a very pretty cool girl. She's way better off with Violent J. Like, he's way cooler. Paul, have you voted yet? Did you vote in person? And if not, why? You have to go in person. Early voting for any Republican out there in person. Like, don't wait. What's going to happen is if we wait to the last minute, the votes are not going to get in. I can assure you of that. So I know where I'm going on Saturday. I've got to go vote. Okay, good. So please go after work. And I wonder if they even count my ballot because I'm a registered Republican. Maybe what I could do is vote in my county and then go to another county because, heck, you're not allowed to ask for voter ID. So we'll see how this goes this time and exactly what happens. And Chess, have you figured out what commercial Mason Reese was in, please? It's Mason, M-A-S-O-N, Reese, R-E-E-S-E. So if someone could figure out what commercials this man was in, that would be wonderful. Because now it's killing me. Because I don't know who. I forgot what it was, but it was some kind of very famous commercial. I don't know if it was for. Hey, Karag, yeah. I don't know if she was voting, if it was the Nutter Butter commercials or some kind of cookie commercial. I like getting spam calls during these things. It's like I'm almost tempted to answer it. what was she doing in Vince Russo's show? And did you figure out which commercials this man was in? Because I want to know. That's kind of like slightly pedophilia-ish because she's so young and pretty looking, and he looks like a very dirty old man. Did you email the link? No, I did not because I'm a fuck up. Hold on a second. No, texted. Okay. Emailing now. Sorry about this, guys. It's my fault because I was busy emailing now. All right. I'm so sorry, guys. It's my fault because I was busy doing a bunch of things today and I forgot to email. So, Mickey, okay. Let me just get this off to Micky Lynn so she could hop on in and join the fun with us. Hang on. And if someone could please find out what commercial that guy was in, I would really appreciate it. While I email Mickey the link to join us and join the party. I like how she just joined the party like last week, and she was a totally cool sport about it. Let me make sure I have the right email. I do. Sent. Okay, there we go. Sent. Voila. Okay. Why would she be on Vince Russo's show? That makes no sense. But yeah, anyone could just look up Mason Reese, MASON REESE, and hang on. Thank you, Nate. Okay, so Mason, if someone could look up which commercials this weirdo was in, I'd appreciate it. There we go. Are you fucking kidding me? He was in a Dunkin' Munchkins commercial? That's really scary because he was kind of a munchkin. The guy was totally short in person. Anyway, is he even alive anymore? Nate, thank you for the love. And most of all, thank you so much for subscribing to the page and keeping up with the live streams and watching the videos as they drop every Friday. Obviously, Mondays, we have the live stream. And then on Wednesdays, the actual podcast drops on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And make sure to subscribe and all that good stuff. He's still alive. Okay. Loch Ness, you do a lot of research on people. I think it's interesting. So Sarah Rusi was a wrestling fan way back, and she went on Vince Russo's show. Where I met Sarah was at a wrestling convention in New England. I don't believe she was, I do not believe that she was actually wrestling or lived in that part of the country, like Boston or wherever it was, Rhode Island. Yes, Nate, make sure you stumble onto the podcast. It's Krazy Train Podcast. That's crazy with a K. I don't know if you do Spotify or iTunes, but there's a wonderful, wonderful library of such lovely guests. Wrestlers, porn stars, comedians, all kinds of interesting people. Really, I mean it. But I'm excited to be in Japan again. I know that everyone who's just joining now is wondering if I'm going to have my live stream next Monday. It's not going to happen because I will be on a plane en route to Japan. Paul Heyman was great. He's a complete genius. That's all I have to say. He was a wonderful person to work for, and ECW was great. It's one of the best places ever to have had wrestling, and it definitely will never be duplicated ever. No one could actually imitate what was there. I heard there's like a new brand of ECW on Netflix. I don't know. I don't expect it to be the same because the way that locker room was and everyone was just so wonderful to work with. I don't know who's going to WrestleCon this year in Las Vegas. I'll be there. I have a table. I'll be live streaming, and I have some guests I will be announcing. One of them is an old ECW diva. She was ECW WWE, and she was a very pretty brunette. Mason, yes, he is. He really is. I don't know what she was thinking. But Sarah's cool. I think she just likes interesting people because Violent J is definitely very interesting. Yeah, so if anyone does go to WrestleCon this year in Vegas, make sure you stop by the table. I will be putting out the guest announcements slowly but surely. John, how did you guess? Look at this. I don't even say who in ECW will probably be at the table at WrestleCon. How the fuck did you guess it? No, not Francine. She was she won't be there. It's Dawn Marie. How did you guess, John? Seriously. That's not fair. Yeah, I don't like that. How is it easy? Tell me. I didn't say it was Dawn Marie. Oh, hot. Okay, there you go. Yes. Dawn Marie was one of those girls that always took extremely good care of herself, just like Elektra. Elektra was the same way as well. Dawn was always way hotter than someone else you mentioned on here earlier because she had a beautiful attitude with people and she was always really nice to people and she was awesome with her fans. She never thought she was better than anyone, which is something I witnessed, firsthand. And plus the fans love her. So it'll be fun if she could make it out. We're talking about everything. Thank you very much, Nate. Thank you very, very much, Nate. Merci mille fois. And if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do so at The Real Jasmin St. So The Real JSMIN STCLAIRE. And of course, I'm still wrestling. I'm managing. I'm doing backstage interviews. So yes, I don't think Dawn Marie has been on the West Coast in quite some time. Could someone let me know this? I'm sure Paul would know the answer. And I thought it would be nice for the fans to see her, if she comes out. I'm sure guys will line up for photos and some new lip print cards that we're talking about making. And besides, it'll be cool to have like a girls' weekend in a way. It'll be fun. And she's so well-spoken as well that maybe she and I would be co-hosting together my podcast that weekend. And I'm speaking to a few WWE. Thank you, Nate. A few other people there as well to come on down to sign. So we'll see. What the fuck? Why did Rene Dupree end his podcast? Okay. He's one of the hottest men I've ever met, but I never hooked up with him. I think he's married or something. Why did he end his podcast? Café de Rene? Why did he end it? And does anyone believe that JBL was bullying him? Like, I've got to give props to JBL. He's the ultimate fuck around and find out type of guy. Okay. The Blue Meanie, right? Who is a woman beater. He hasn't sued me because he knows I'm not lying, right? He ran his mouth about JBL. What do you think happens when you run your mouth about people eventually? It catches up to you. So I give him props to whatever went on in the ring that night. That's horrible. I'm sorry. So anyone know why Rene Dupree ended his podcast? Because I thought it was like, who is his guest tonight anyway? He is Bob Holly. Bubba Ray is one of the nicest people ever, I think, personally. He's one of the reasons I was in ECW. You can't sign in? Okay, Mickey. Hang on. You didn't get an email? What the fuck? Okay, hang on. Okay, guys. Hold on. This is like totally on me, I think. Maybe I sent it to the wrong email. Yikes. Okay, Mickey. Oh, I see what I did wrong, Mickey. It's my fault. I sent it to the wrong email. So now there's going to be some weird person signing on here. And I have a feeling this is the correct one. Nope. Guys, I've had way too much C4 today. Hang on. Be patient with me. Yeah, there it is. I see that hot blonde in the photo. That's her. Okay. Check your email now. I had a feeling that might have been the wrong email address I sent it to. So there you go. Love you too. So yeah, check your email, Mickey. So I don't get it. Okay, so if this guy's, okay, here we go. So if this guy's Japanese wife left him, here's the question. How long was he married to her for, right? And was he banging other women behind her back? That's the other question. I mean, you can't be like upset if you do stupid shit. You know, I'm sorry. That's just the way it works. I just had the Hawaiian Punch C4. It's pretty new and it's pretty damn good. What I do want to know, guys, is when was the last time Dawn Marie was actually at a fan meet and greet on the West Coast? If anyone could find out, that would be stellar, because I'd like to know, because I don't think she's been here in a while. Yeah, the cherry popsicle is pretty bomb. I think so. So look who it is. I think she, unlike me, she actually looks like she just maybe got her hair done or something, or maybe out of a shower. I don't know. I haven't showered since I came home from the gym. Sorry. Hi. Is your hair wet?
Yes.
Oh my God. I love it. I got to get my hair done. I got to get my hair cleaned.
I just dyed my hair, so that's what it was. I had to dye it before I went to Exotica.
Oh yeah. When is Exotica?
Exotica is the 25th, 26th, 27th of October. So it's next weekend.
Have you been to Exotica before, or is this your first one? Yeah, woo! Yeah, Trumpy baby, woo! Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm like more excited when I see that than pepper spraying people with pepper spray. So I really am. Is this your first Exotica? Now, have you done Exotica before, or is this your first time?
No, I've been doing it since 2018. So okay. I go everywhere. I go to New Jersey. I go to Chicago. I go to Miami and Washington. Next one will be Washington.
I don't know about you because you're old school like I am. But some of these new ass hoes, okay, the new hoes that come into the business, dude, they're like bumping and grinding people for free. Do you see a lot of that going on? Like they just misbehave cheaply for nothing.
Yeah, well, it's because that's what they do now. That's the new thing. You know, that the more they do, the more fans they feel that they get. Hi, Nate. How are you? Hi, Paul.
Paul and Scott. Everyone. Well, here's a question, guys. So, do you guys feel that it's better when you get all this cheap treatment? You know, I'm just asking you guys because these girls are literally dry humping these men for next to nothing. Back when you and I did CES, I don't think we were doing so many crazy things.
We took photos. And we got paid. That's another thing. We got paid and we did photos. Classy photos.
Describe classy.
Well, not like what now they do lap dances.
What?
Yeah, they do lap dances. I've had to complain about a couple of people in the booths next to me. Like, I mean, you would thought that they were like freaking, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that's pretty it's pretty weird. I think that Facebook has banned my my live streams because I was talking about Trump, but I don't give a shit. People know where to catch up restreams. Did you guys start voting in Florida, or is it only one day?
Well, early voting is I think it's happening now, but see, since I'm a libertarian, I have to wait till election day. So I'll go in on election day to vote. With my hat and my shirt.
Your shirt? I have the sneakers on today. Let's see that. Oh my God.
I'll make sure I wear it to the voting thing.
I'm waiting for my black MAGA hat, my dark MAGA one. It's supposed to arrive, or maybe it's at my PO box, but that is what I'm wearing. I want to vote on election day, but I feel like if I do that in California, I'm doing the party a disservice, even though we're not going to flip red ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you registered as a Republican? I love it. I love it. Be in the middle. in the middle.
No, I have to do it. I just have to do it. I have to be that hardcore right-wing Republican.
I love you for that. Don't change yourself.
Well, I wore my Trump sneakers to the gym, and the girl at the front said, you should just throw that in the trash. I'm like, sort of like you. So I forgot, like, she's banging the manager and everything. She's like, well, what do you mean? I said, just sort of like you. Like, I didn't ask you for your opinion, right? And if you want to live with another 4 years of this, you are trashed. You are like human fucking garbage. So they wrote me up. They did write me up at the gym, but I went ahead.
Really?
I emailed the regional manager. You know, who the hell is she to say anything to me? Like, you're a zero, okay? You will work behind that desk until you die.
Well, here's the problem, though. Then you're not in America, because the last time I checked, you had the right to pick who you wanted to vote for. It's not between the either side. It's people need to respect who you want to vote for.
Well, would it be like crazy if I wore a Harris t-shirt and didn't vote for her?
Well, you should wear a t-shirt of Harris and a hat of Trump. See what they say to you. You can say I'm undecided. Kind of like transgender.
But people are so confused in Santa Monica. It's like, they're just like, oh my God. Oh. They don't know what gender they are. They don't know which bathrooms to use. It's like, okay, guys, did you ever think we would be this far in society? Like, when we were doing porn, it was like a lot more free back then, right? Do you think there are a lot of Republicans that came out of our era of porn?
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course. I mean, sex is sex. Sex sells. Everybody has sex. We all have sex. I mean, I think a lot of people should have sex. That way they're a little bit more friendlier. You know, when I see a lady at the grocery store who looks miserable, I say, honey, I think you need a little extra love.
Do you offer?
Well, if you're hot enough, yeah, maybe, but not all the time.
I don't know if I want to be banging the broads in my neighborhood. Like, it's scary, but you know, maybe I'll offer the next time. The last time there was a miserable woman at the store, the guy standing behind me yelled at her, I hope you get cancer and die. And that, my friend, was extremely unnecessary. So yeah, I'm not down with that, but I'm down for offering sex. It just depends who it is.
Well, yeah, it depends on who it is, but I just tell people, you need to get a little, because that frustration's really getting to you, honey.
Yeah, but if it's like married life sex, I'm not sure that's like the best thing ever.
I think that's the problem, though, with everybody.
Right?
It's
yeah, seriously. Who do you still speak to from the adult film business?
I speak to Tony Tedeschi. I speak to TT Boy, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Marcus, Ginger Lynn, Christy Canyon, Luke Weiler, Alexander Slick, Scotty Swartz. Who else? I try to get in contact with everybody. Jasmin St.
No, they're cool.
Randy West, I was supposed to see him before he passed.
Yeah, that was really sad, you know. And then today, Paul Diano of Iron Maiden passed away. And I'm saying to myself, why can't it be like a Kardashian or something? Someone like that who does not contribute positively to society, exactly. You know? It just sucks. It really does. Let's talk about your adult film career now and what you're doing that's closest to it. OnlyFans, what else do you have going on?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing OnlyFans to a minimum. I mostly focus on my official website where I put all my stuff on there. I edit, I create, and I put it up there. I'll put it on Loyal Fans. I'll advertise it on Facebook. Not Facebook, but Twitter. I don't put too much on there because I'm not a social media whore. I should be, but I'm not. I'm old school. So I believe getting out to the video stores, getting out to Exotica, do all that stuff to meet my fans. I'd rather meet them all in person than to text them with my fingers because my fingers hurt. And then I can't see the screen. I got to wear my glasses. I'm like.
Oh, those are hot.
You know, like one day I'm with I went with somebody and I'm like, hold on a second. When I'm at the shows now, I'm like, hold on, let me see. Okay.
Well, no, you look good with glasses. Not all of us can get away with it. I need them for like long distance, like far sight. And there are times when I've thought a guy was cute, or I thought I knew someone, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" Then I get closer, it's like, never mind.
Well, yeah, that's terrible. I remember one time I was somewhere and this girl looked like my sister, and I'm like, oh no, you're not my sister. But she looked so much like her. It was like we all have a twin out there somewhere, you know. I wish I had a twin. Man, I'd be dangerous.
What would you be doing if you had a twin, Mickey? Tell us. Now I'm curious.
Oh man, I'd be like tricking guys left and right, cheating on everything. You know, I'd be doing everything that I could do just to be devious. Because I was always the sweet girl when I was younger, so I want to be a little bit more like naughty, you know, like. Ugh.
But Mickey, you always had a mischievous look, and that's a good thing.
I guess I did.
No, you still do. It's the eyes. They're like mischievous. Like, yeah, I'm up to something, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm up to. You know,
Don't
it's like
piss off Micky Lynn.
Yeah,
that's what I tell people.
You gonna tell people that? So
yeah, I know.
So Loch Ness says some MILF came out about 10 years ago, and I don't know whose name she was stealing. Hey, horny Cthulhu. Okay. Anyway, Paul wants to know, do you have any thoughts on Pornhub and these other adult websites that are streaming adult content, specifically like our older stuff?
Well, I don't believe that porn should be free. If I can turn around and go and get it all taken down, which all the guys would hate me for that and people, but I don't believe porn should be free. I think you should join our websites and, you know, support us. Porn is just totally different now. It's just totally different. I don't like Pornhub. I don't go on Pornhub. I have an account on Pornhub. I don't put my stuff on Pornhub because they steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever thought we'd have the internet 20 years ago when we started signing off those model releases, I wonder if it covered the internet.
It doesn't. It doesn't, because I'll tell you why. I try to put my own stuff up on Loyal Fans, and it's not grandfathered in because they take it down. They basically, I have to have a model release from every model that's in that video, or they have to have an OnlyFans account. So the model releases don't mean a thing because all the Canadian companies like Pornhub and I think it was MindGeek, Geek Mind, they bought everything. So, I mean, really 33 years ago, where am I going to get model releases from?
I wonder if the model releases that we signed covered this far and covered the internet. Like, I'd be interested in seeing one of those from that day, that era. And if it does not cover the internet,
then it shouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I don't think those model releases exist anymore. And does it? You know, I wonder. That's a good question. Are our model releases out there? Because I remember a time when anybody who wanted to view videos had our information, had our addresses, because the video companies would give them all our personal information.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing who runs Metro Home Video and asking them for a model release to see what it looks like. Same thing with all that stuff. There was some troll named Dominic Acera. Do you remember him, Dr. X?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he stole slides from Rob Black from Extreme Associates. Like, he was in the little closet, he stole them, and he has them. He's like trying to sell them to me.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't think Rob cares that much. He has his hands full with other issues now. But it just boggles my mind. You fucking troll who lives with your sister because you got evicted from your house. Allegedly got evicted. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on that. And he's trying to sell me back my photos, my content. You know, and I did ask him for a model release a while back. Oh, I have it. I don't have it. Okay. Where is it?
Yeah. Well, I just found a guy on eBay, which you're not supposed to sell porn on eBay.
Yeah.
found my personal photos that they were mine. And I says to him, I was nice about it. I wasn't a bitch because, I mean, when I need to be a bitch, I'll be a bitch, guys. I'm not that bad. And I said, look, you need to please take those photos down. Or, ready? Wait for this. Or I'm going to contact and report you. Well, he emailed me back and he said he apologized. And he said that, you know, people were asking for my photos and that he took them down. And he did take them down.
You should send them.
Now here's another thing. They're going to OnlyFans and they're stealing people's content because they did it to my girlfriend and they're putting on these websites.
Well, where's the protection there? Not everyone was trademarked, you know?
But you got to pay a lawyer. That's the thing. You have to pay somebody to go in, obviously, and scroll the internet for your face and get it taken out. So it's going to cost you all that money to go in there and take all that stuff out.
Insane what people do. And the eBay guy, he should actually send it to you. Because I don't join. Huh?
I don't think he has the physical photo. He took it off of either my website or one of my social media accounts. So he doesn't even have the physical picture. It's a digital. So probably what he does is he prints it out and sells it to somebody. And then, you know, I have a person who's selling like my signature for like $150 on eBay. Yeah, I contacted them. It's like, I never signed. That's not my signature. And I put there, it's not my signature. What are you doing? I don't like it when people defraud my fans because it's very important.
You could actually report that person to eBay and report the other person with your photos. eBay has a Vero program, VERO. And if you have a trademark or your copyright, you can go ahead and register with them and they will pull the stuff down. Something why do you have your name as Nick Hess? It's just, what is it? Enchess, whatever. Loch Ness is what I'll call you. Loch Ness said that there's Indian scamming that is the next level, which is true. It is at the next level with bots and all this other crap going on out there. You know? I don't know. I just hope this, I just hope people stop doing shit like this. There's a WWE wrestler named, what is it? What's her name? Help me, someone. It's a wrestler who's like the new champ. It's a female wrestler. Liv Morgan. So there was someone scamming people for money, pretending to be her to get money for a signing, an autograph signing. Wow. And another time it was a scam. Oh, I'm in such deep turmoil with my bills. Can somebody help me? And a guy remortgaged his house or refinanced it and gave her that money. Turns out it was a scam and she had to apologize. It had nothing to do with her, but whoever it was out there is just a nasty human being. But yeah, I don't know what your relationship is like with Dr. X or Dominic Acera. I do know that he is that he was roommates with Scotty Schwartz. Scotty I like and have a lot of respect for. Yeah, this is very true. What he's saying, what Nate's saying. When was the last AVN award show that you went to?
Last year.
What do you think of it? Was it like a FEMA tent? That's what I heard. It was like FEMA, like a FEMA setup.
It was in a tent. Yeah, it was in a tent. It's just totally different. You know, it wasn't like the old AVNs that we went where it was the CES, the Consumer Electronics. No, was it? Yeah, it was CES. Yeah. And then from there, we would go to AVN. But now it's just like AVN is on its own. So it's like, I think it's like 4 or 5 days. And, you know, I mean, I did very well when I was there, believe it or not. I did very well. I was with Seika, yes. Ginger Lynn. I was with Christy Canyon, Kiki Dier. Who else was there? Oh, Dominique Simone was there. She was there. And we all sold our stuff. And we did very well because it was more of the not the golden age, but it was something to the effect of, you know, all of us older women there. And we did very well. I did very well. But it's different. The awards are totally different. Because you remember in the 90s when we did that, we had tables. We had dinners. Red carpet is, it's just way too long. But I mean, I guess things got to change. The talent there sucked. Iggy Azalea, she sucked. I mean, if they paid her all that money, I don't know.
Who?
Iggy Azalea. She's that blonde chick who has the big ass, who is like a rapper type of girl. Iggy Azalea.
Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no. Ich bin nicht. Nein. Ugh. No, and I heard from Dominique, it was a 3-hour wait, and she was towards the back.
She was by me.
Wait. Well, yeah, and you girls are dressed up. I mean, the girls that were wearing their Sunday best, it was from fucking Fashion Nova, like the clothes I wear in the ring. Those outfits that can get fucked up or whatever. And they're there wearing that as their best? No.
No, it's different. We remember we went with gowns and everything. We were like, that was our night. But you know what? Here's the thing though. AVN, if people know it now, it's not about porn. It's more about the cam. The cam models have taken over the business. So it's not a porn thing anymore. It's not a porn star or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guys on here can tell you My Free Cams is a big sponsor for AVN. And you have, all these platforms. So it's not like, you don't have like years ago where you had Evil Angels there. John Stigliano's there. You have Brazzers who's there. You have all the main companies there. But it's not like it used to be with us, like VCA, Vivid, Wicked, Zane, everybody, it's not there. So it's different. It's more, it's just the girls aren't reliable. They don't show up. So it's just, I don't know, different. I got paid when I went. Now you have to friggin' hustle yourself. You're like, would you like to take a picture? Would you like to take a Polaroid? Come on, let's take a selfie. Or would you like, it's like, no, I mean, I got paid in the 90s to be there. I sold autographs. I just sent them out. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I was under contract, so you get, it's part of your pay. It's like you'd have to be there. It's just, it's unreal. Oh, thank you, Paul. I smashed a light tube on some guy's head last weekend. That's like normal for me, by the way. Yeah, it's such a different world now. I don't know if I'd want to go back to an AVN ever. If it was just to hang out with like you and like that type of thing, then maybe I'd go for a day for a few hours. What was it, James that brought you in? Is that who had you come in, James?
Yeah.
I wanted to take up.
James Bartolet is a nice guy. Like, it's just like everything else. I hear so many stories about everybody in the business. And, James Bartolet is a sweet guy. He's kind of got like bipolar, kind of, he's a sweetheart, but sometimes you got to catch him in his mood. And I don't have any problems with him because, he's good to me. I don't know how he is to everybody else. I don't know him that long. I've only known him maybe 2 years.
So Nate brings up a really good point. Yeah, everything needs to go back to how it was. Like, we're stars and it makes it different than now just some random girl at home. Like, it'll never go back to what it was, but it was nice. I know that there is someone out there trying to reshoot scenes. I think it was you that wants to bring back the glam and the porn, which makes sense. Because, guys, it's something different. And I feel as though if it's not done all the time, it's definitely a delicacy and something unique. Tell us about that.
But you have to, here's the thing with it. When we shot our porn, we had plots to our stories. We had, like, I remember doing a movie, Super Groupie, and it was in a nightclub. It was on me and TT Boy. We did a scene on the roof where you seen the planes going by. Then I did a movie called No Fly Zone, where we were all chanting in the middle of the road, and we did an all girl thing. Now it's everybody has one of the cell phones, and everybody thinks they're a producer, and they're not thinking about the sensuality of how many holes can I fuck? Can I get 2 dicks in her ass? Can I do, can I smack her? Can I spit on her? And, it's just not, people don't want to see that. They want to fantasize about the girl. That's the girl I want to be with. When I watch porn, I want to see the girl. I want to see, soft. I mean, yeah, fuck her hard, but I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't want to feel like the girl is. And another thing is, the girls are now regretting what they're doing, and they're saying that they've been assaulted on the sets. So now how can you really make a good scene if you're worried about if this girl's gonna, you're gonna go a little out of control, and then she's gonna accuse you of doing something she didn't want? I just told the guy, your balls are in my reach. That's what I used to tell him.
I would just say, what's your problem? Go get your shit together. I'm not going to help you. Which is that, it made me very difficult to work with. I don't give a shit. Paul wants to know, difficult and favorite performers that you work with, but we didn't work together, so you can't say that about me. We were never on a set together, so you cannot say it was a bitch.
Well, my favorite actresses and actors my favorite was Randy West, because I met him at a time when I was young. I remember I got into the business when I was 18. So I worked with him. And then my favorite, it's hard to say my favorite female actress, because there were so many good ones at the time that I worked with. So it's different. It's like, how do you pick and choose? It's hard to. It really is hard to pick that famous actress. But my favorite actor is Randy West by far.
I always heard that about him, and I never had the chance to work with him, unfortunately. I told you the story. My first scene was Peter North, and I thought it would be Randy West, but they mixed up the names at the end of the credits. Okay. And I thought I was going to get some tall blonde hunk. I get some tall dark-haired hunk. Everyone knows I'm not really into dark-haired guys because I have dark hair.
No, I know.
What do I want to mess with that shit for? I really don't. But I feel like John Jay just said, they've made it way too gay. Even in regular films and TV shows, I feel as though the male roles are now somehow, they're not as strong. They're not as alpha. Is it the shit in our food, or are they just so scared of this alleged toxic masculinity now? It's like affecting Hollywood. It's affecting porn. Have you seen some of the guys doing films, doing porn?
Yeah, I noticed that, like, when this whole Me Too started, it was like, I remember being on a call with Christy on Sirius Radio on Playboy Vivid Radio. And it was like they were going to get rid of interracial, the word interracial. And I'm like, how do you get rid of interracial? What do you call it? What do you call it? And it's like they're destroying everything about it. They're destroying, guys are doing trans. Now, I have nothing against trans people, individuals. They have their own thing. But you see straight guys doing trans. That's not what this is about. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
I'm sorry. It sounds.
I mean,
no, I shouldn't laugh. Then you have girls that get bullied who don't want to have sex with a tranny. I was in Brazil with Rob Black and Tom Byron back in the day, and I was not working that day. I was just hanging out on the beach, and then I got back to the hotel. Tom Byron says, "Yeah, we had a problem." Like, what's the problem? Oh, the tranny didn't want to work with the girl on the set. I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, who's the tranny to complain? Like, you should be happy or even working. What is chemical? Toxic masculinity is not chemical. The thought of it is chemical, but I think it's socially engineered to manipulate society and destroy the patriarch, which is true. So there's a new type of content creation called stay-at-home girlfriend, where it's an actual stay-at-home girlfriend making food, doing shit at home that girlfriends do, masturbate, I don't know. But it seems to be very popular. And I think it's popular because of the nuclear American composition of relationships and families slowly being torn down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you cook?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't cook. I don't cook. I do sometimes, but I'm so busy, I don't have time to cook. But if somebody, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not that I'm not that 9 to 5 person. I've never been.
Yeah, well, you work for yourself, just doing content and stuff like that. Cool content. Here I am, like baking. I have a zucchini in the kitchen in the other room going.
Well, I'll come and eat.
No, you know what?
Like when we have our big gatherings here, we have like, because my son has like 80 friends, and we'll do like New Year's here, and it'll be like a big thing. Like we'll have the whole house and, fireworks, like for professional fireworks, like the kids will all bring their fireworks over, and I'll cook for everybody. I do cook, but it's like sometimes I just don't have time to. I love to bake though. Like I'm bad at those decorating. You ever watch those shows that they have like contests about the baking and stuff? And I'll be like in the kitchen and I'll make like a meringue pie and I'll think, okay, I'm gonna get it, and it deflates and I'm like, oh, this is not. Stick to my porn, Micky Lynn. Stick to your porn.
Well, you're in Florida, which is technically a pretty conservative place. Do people know what you do there?
Oh, everybody knows what I do here.
Do they say anything?
No. All the well, another thing is I don't care what anybody thinks, number one. Number two, I live modest, believe it or not. I'm not a woman with her ass hanging out and all the time. I do. But everybody knows what I do here. I ran my son's PTA. I was the PTA president from elementary. I did all his soccer and all his things and then everybody in the neighborhood, they all think it's cool. All his friends think it's cool. And the parents all know, and I tell them, look, you have questions? Ask me. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I'm not going to hide it.
Yeah, I'm sure the single dads had a lot of questions for you. You're the new kind of soccer mom, the cool kind.
Oh,
now, diving into the fifth, because this is like the hot topic, because it's right around the corner. So some people are saying that he will get elected, but when he is supposed to take office, they'll cause some kind of a civil war, and then they won't allow him to take office, and then the marshals will have to come in and do something like martial law. Do you think it's going to happen? And what are your thoughts on that happening possibly?
Well, you do know that something like that will happen because of the simple fact that when they're backed in a corner, that's all they know how to do. I don't think that he will allow it at this point because he has somebody backing him in the Congress. Not like Nancy Pelosi was there and she didn't want to put out 25,000, people to help him, guards, National Guard. At the end of the day, he's going to do what he has to do to make sure this country gets back on track.
Good morning, King Brian. I'm not sure where you're messaging from. Yeah, it's just so scary. And now, okay, I'm jealous of people that actually had fries from Trump in Philadelphia. I mean, that was like, I saw people posting photos. I'm like, wait a second.
TikTok and all these other places.
Yeah.
But it's staged. It's staged, though.
Was it?
Oh, it was staged. That's what people are saying.
Okay, Kamala's brain is fucking staged. Her blackness is staged. Paul remembers one thing. 2 years ago, the Mega MAGA faction was born in wrestling, which I was a part of. Hey, Jimmy, happy Monday. Okay, so now we're dealing with the swing states. okay, California will probably never turn red, but there will be seats that go red in local councils and in maybe local offices here and there. Okay, what are your thoughts on the swing states? We have North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia?
But don't remember, Florida was a swing state at one point. Remember that. And you have to remember when COVID hit, everybody from New York and New Jersey were moving to Florida. Okay. And everybody told me, oh, you're going to become a blue state because everybody from the north is moving down. And we became a red state. So don't let the swing state thing fool you because it could always turn to the red. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think people are tired.
But where? Okay, so we have Michigan.
I think Michigan. I think Pennsylvania. I don't think so. But I think Arizona is going to be good. I think he's going to get Arizona. I think he's going to get Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire. And Georgia. Now, I'm not too sure about Pennsylvania.
Wisconsin?
I hope so. That I hope. That's going to be a tricky one. But if the linesmen, the pipeline people learned anything from the last time, is never believe what somebody else on the other side promises you.
Man, I don't know. I thought he'd have Pennsylvania. I know Philadelphia, it's filled with like wackadoodles. Pittsburgh, it's hit or miss. Like he went to Pimenti Brothers, or JD Vance went to Pimenti Brothers, one of my favorite sandwich places in the world. And he was going inside of there, shaking hands. Oh no, get out of here. We don't want your politics in here. And they threw him out.
You see what it cost them though? Here in Florida, there's one here in Florida in Fort Lauderdale.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What
there's
happened?
one here in Fort Lauderdale. You're talking about the place where he went and everybody left and they told him to cancel all their orders and everybody left because they were there waiting for JD Vance? Yeah, they all left. They all said, cancel our orders. We're out of here. Then they apologized. The owner said that management couldn't know how to handle it.
Okay, well, if they want 4 more years of this, then they're stupid and they should not have a small business. Because I don't know one small business owner that thinks this is great and this is fucking wonderful. Because it's not.
It's not. And you know, they have to really think about it's, you know, I understand that Donald Trump is a crazy person because I'm a crazy person too. Okay. And that's what makes people sometimes the best people. You don't have to like him. You don't have to love him. But you have to understand that he was not a politician and he loves his country. Right now, my son, who can't move out on his own, he's 22 years old. He's working. He can't move out on his own. What's his future going to be like? Maybe he should go to Mexico and come back, and then he can get $25,000. You know, it's just you're printing all this money, and we're all going to go broke.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And here we go. Here's someone with voting machines and counting irregularities. Then when he does win, what will they do before the inauguration? Okay, well, he's already had like 2 assassination attempts. That one in California was bogus. Well, I heard it was. Yeah. Hey, Chuck, how are you? So I heard that was a total sham. So is this going to be the successful assassination that happens if he gets inaugurated? Like, it's scary. And in California, you're not allowed to ask for voter ID. And I have clips of the training to work at the polls. I was removed from there the last time because I was demanding a guy's mail-in ballot be handed in. And I caught the lead captain, giving people without ID actual ballots, not provisional ballots. You know, there are laws for this. There are other states that don't prohibit non-citizens to vote.
Well, yeah, they're mailing them to people that aren't citizens. But the thing is, you can't do anything until you get this DOJ out of office, because he's not going to do anything because he's just going to. I mean, you seen last time how they brought boxes and boxes and boxes of votes in. I mean, you know, it's the evidence is as plain as my nose is on my face. You know, I'm not going to say that my nose is not here if it's there. You know, it's In Florida, you went in and you voted. Okay, you went in, you put your paper through the thing, you walked out. New Jersey, my family lives in New Jersey. They put it in a box. Where is your vote? Where is it? You don't know. You don't know where your vote goes.
Well, just what I was saying before, Chuck, is a possible civil uprising. Yeah, that is possible. And they will have to have martial law, and they're going to have to count the votes and let him in or certify everything. It's not a fun time. But if you think about it, Reagan spoke out against Democrats. Lincoln spoke out. Martin Luther King. Reagan was
and also January 6th was a diversion for those votes to be handed in. People don't realize that. And the people that were killed, the 3 officers or the 2 officers that were killed did not die in the line of duty. They have health issues. It's a known fact. You Google it. The only person that was killed was the Abbott, the woman that was in there, who was, Ashley Abbott was killed because she was pushed in because she was part of the crowd. So at the end of the day, the DC was in an uproar to begin with. They were burning down buildings. They were burning. I mean, how do you tear down history in your own country? How do you do that?
Republicans don't behave like that. And then
they don't.
No, we have that bitch, that cackling whore. Then you have Maxine Waters, another psycho weirdo. And who was the other one? Was it Ilhan Omar? It's a meme that I have. Nancy Pelosi. It's a meme that says, take it to the streets and burn cities down during the George Floyd riots. And even his own family said he wouldn't want this if he was alive. What I saw across the street from my building were people going into the Van store, walking out with a bunch of shit for free.
Yeah.
I don't think they took any of my size back, or I'd be in there too. But I just, how does that help anything? And then there's some African-American activist on TV saying our children will continue to loot and riot and steal until we get reparations. Every person I know that's African-American has way more sense than that. And it's embarrassing.
How about that poor man, that black man that was killed going to check up on his store? Yeah. And they shot and killed him. Do they not know that crime? I was doing this research. There are more black on black crime than anything in this country.
Yeah. And that's sad. Certain states like California, New York will always be blue. Okay, we get that. Like, that's never going to change. But I still want to get out there and have the experience of voting and wearing my Trump hat, Trump stickers. And I decided I don't want to buy that Kamala shirt, but I walked by the Kamala headquarters on the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, and there's nobody in there. There's like one girl there all weekend with her little dog, which she probably fucks and cuddles in bed. There's no fucking this girl, I'm telling you. And that's the only person I see. It's like, then you see the faggy looking emasculated white dude with his trendy Asian girlfriend going in there with the typical hat those guys wear. And the girl, it's like, okay, guys, it's getting to the time, and you can't do this because it's trendy. The fact that they're making money is great. So I wonder if I should go in there and say, hey, can I have a shirt for free? Because I'm like a big Kamala supporter and I just can't afford it right now.
What gets to me is they send me text messages, right, to my cell phone. Oh, wait, I tell them to fuck off when I do that. But that's besides the point. Hey, Gladys, Kamala Harris needs your vote. I said, why don't you get my name right, number 1? Number 2, I'm not voting for your ass. And number 3, don't bother me.
I got one of those phone calls today. And I first did ask, hey, what country are you calling from? I'm calling from Texas. Where? Austin? What do you want to talk to me about? Kamala Harris? I said, yeah. What do you want to say? Well, we're trying to get more people educated about the great things. I said, let me tell you something. Don't call me. I'm a Trump supporter. I've been a Republican since the age of 9 years old. Like a soft 9, soft 10, whatever. But don't call me with this bullshit. Fuck you. I told her to get gang raped by a bunch of illegals. I know that's taken it far, and they had the phone call recorded.
Yeah, but it's sad because that's what they draw you to. That's what they draw you to.
I know. I wonder if I'm going to have like Secret Service here. But yeah, and then if Kamala gets elected, guys, and I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for, she will defund, she will not give funding to schools that do not want to allow boys in girls' bathrooms or boys into girls' sports. So that's what you're voting for. For someone that wants women's rights and all this stuff, you're taking it away from biological women and girls. Like, seriously.
Well, I mean, no matter how you look at it, you cannot become a man and you cannot become a woman. You can identify as a man and identify as a woman, but you are not a man and a woman.
But can you menstruate if you're a boy?
No, you cannot. So you should not put that stuff in each other's bathrooms. I went into a Cane's in California one time.
Cane's?
The chicken place. Have you ever been there? It's like a chicken
Cane's,
place.
yes. You have a Southern accent. Got it. Okay.
Cane's. And they had a gender bathroom, and they had a urinal and they had a toilet. And I told my son, I said, if I find any more of these Canes like this again, I'm not going in there. I don't think that I should be, as a female, I should have to go into a bathroom where the guys don't know how to friggin' aim. Okay? I don't think I should have to go into a bathroom with a urinal. But the other Canes, only the ones in California had them. Everywhere else don't have them.
In certain counties, you have to have it or you're not allowed to have a business. My favorite Mexican restaurant in California is called Casa Martin. There are 2 locations in Santa Monica. And the owner was told, if you don't have a gender-neutral bathroom, you cannot have your restaurant.
So wake up. So guess what that is? That is a communist way of thinking. That is somebody telling you that if you don't do what I tell you, you will now be shut down and we will take your living away. That's what they're doing. You're not in America. I get it. We are in America. You can vote for whoever you want. And like I tell people, you vote. But at the end of the day, when you're done voting and that person doesn't succeed of what you want, don't go crying that you didn't get your way. You got to stay with the vote that you've picked.
Yeah, my friend doesn't want to vote. Like, she never votes, but she's there wasting my breath, asking me all these questions. She's not going to vote, and her boyfriend, I should say girlfriend, watches CNN.
Oh, the Communist News Network?
Yes, Communist News Network. But in Santa Monica, it's like communism. So you have the mayor of Santa Monica, Phil Brock. A few years ago, when my friend ran for city council, he told him not to run because he will not get the votes. My friend still ran and got like 5,000 votes. Great. This year, there were 2 moderates that were trying to run. And all of a sudden, their names are not there on the slates. So I know for a fact he told one person not to run. And, he's going to make it really tough on her because she's a business owner. Yeah. That should be called election interference. But this guy, man, like, he looks like he's pregnant or something. And he goes to the gym sometimes. So I don't know how the fuck that happens, So that's what we're dealing with.
I can't believe your governor is crazy.
Who? Oh, him? The Joker? Yeah, I don't get it. And soccer moms want to vote for him. They should just go back to doing their 5 o'clock, wine o'clock things because they have no fucking clue what they're voting on. He's released criminals into the streets. And I hate to say this, but I have a feeling Gascon will stay in office. I don't think Nate Hoffman has a chance winning. There are enough of us that are sick of it, but people are stupid.
Well, George Soros, the most richest man, is putting all these people into politics. They're using
radio stations.
Yeah, he couldn't do Florida. He tried to come down here and buy something in Florida, I heard, and they wouldn't let him. Oh, the Telemundos here in Florida, they tried to buy.
Yeah, but Latinos aren't into this type of shit, into this woke bullshit. Every Latino I know, the Latin community, they are against this. Well, no, they don't want this shit around their kids. I see enough Netflix, and when we're watching it, you see like all this transgender characters, and it doesn't make you a transphobe. It just makes you intolerant of people who don't want to accept themselves, but you want us to accept you and live in your twisted reality. Hey, Roy, how are you? Thank you very much. Royal Samuel Laura Fernandez. You see, and I'm sure Latin culture it's kind of macho, not in a bad, negative way. So you tell me they don't want to see some man flouncing around their children in like a women's dress. And people like that work really hard to come to this country. So have their ancestors. So when you have like, what is it, Tren del Agua coming over and taking over apartment complexes, that's not cool.
Well,
and why aren't people doing anything?
Well, because they're scared, because they don't want to go against their government, because they feel like when Biden was before office, all these Fortune 500 companies didn't want to go against him because they feared retaliation, because that's what they do. They weaponize the Department of Justice. Okay? You mean, look at all the parents, because they didn't want male who were transitioning to females into their sports in their locker rooms, and one girl's raped and they throw the father in jail, and that's the whole thing about it. And that is where it was going, and that's where it could go if it turns to the left.
Yeah, and people have to understand, when you vote, it affects all of us. So why do people think Trump is a tyrant and he is a bad person? I don't think he's done anything wrong. Any leader that wants to put their country first is a leader. It doesn't make you racist. I don't go to like Africa or Kenya or somewhere trying to change their ways and what they do, and then you get people here, or even in Europe, it's become a shit show. People trying to shove Sharia law down people's throats. You have migrant grooming gangs that are grooming these young girls and raping them. I mean, how is that okay? They're not there to acclimate. We're not getting their best. That I know. And
it's sad, because when I went out to dinner with Christy Canyon and everybody, we were talking, and she went to Mexico recently. And you know how when you go on vacation and you meet somebody and you're talking to them, and she's like, well, I'm from California. And they turned around and I said, oh my God, you live in California? She's like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I would never go there. That's the most dangerous place in the United States. And she's like, Micky Lynn, I felt so embarrassed.
Yeah, but she has common sense though. And California back in the 90s when we had gang crime, I prefer that because they kept the crime between themselves. They didn't involve elderly people. They never involved children. They didn't involve external beings. They kept their bullshit amongst themselves. Even when you hear like these gangs in jail, they don't do stupid shit like that. Like they're against it.
It's like the mob.
Huh?
It's like the mob. They never touch the families.
No, yeah, look what they did to Elon Musk for leaving. Elon, I admire him for going to the Trump rally, but I don't like his cars. What do you think of those big Tesla SUVs? They're pretty.
Oh, you mean the refrigerators?
Yes, the fridge.
My son calls them the refrigerators.
Oh my God, they totally look like it. It's crazy.
He's crazy too. He's another Trump, but you know what? It's okay to be crazy. It's okay. I mean, I'm goofy half the time. That doesn't mean that I'm a ditz all the time. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm crazy. We're all crazy. Look at where we are on a Monday night, and what we're talking about. No, we got. It's conversations that has to be had, and I'm glad you're sensible. And real quick, safe cities in Florida to live that are hurricane free.
Oh my God!
Name 5.
Well, don't go to the West Coast, because the West Coast is more of the Gulf Coast. So you have more of it coming around. You have it more coming around. If you can stay inland of any coastal area, like where I'm at, I'm like at least 22 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. So but to be honest, what?
Melbourne?
Yes. That's a nice little area, but you still get hit there because remember you have the peninsula, the peninsula, and what happens is it goes around Cuba and comes up, and then it goes up towards the Panhandle, and then it goes up. So you just want to stay I would stay south of Melbourne and north of Miami.
Vieira, Rockledge.
Okay, they're good.
Winter Park.
They're good. That's more middle.
Thank you.
You want to stay there. I mean, but you know what, Jasmin? At the end of the day, don't be afraid to come to Florida because of the hurricanes, because I've been here 20 years in November, and I've never been, I mean, they've gone through here, but I've never had any problems.
I'm more afraid of the liberals moving there. I was talking about Jasmin St, who wants to live in a small town. Now, keep your boring ass in Hollywood, because you probably voted all that shit in. Don't go to a small town and don't go to a fucking red town. Go stay in your city. Go stay wherever it is that you live in Hollywood and eat the shit that comes out of the homeless people's assholes.
I think a lot of people who moved to Florida, especially when the pandemic happened, because you remember a lot of people left because of the pandemic and came to Florida, got tired of the way the government was treating them. They weren't allowed to go to their favorite restaurants. They weren't allowed to go back to school, go back to work. So people got tired of that. And that's why they came to Florida. And I thought the same thing. I thought we were going to become like a blue state. But I talked to a lot of Democrats that say, no, we're tired of it. There's some down here that are tired of it.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a better state to do business in. I've already started looking at apartments for next year.
Okay.
So then maybe we'll be neighbors, but
Definitely.
It'll be fun. Why does this quiet town not have, this is a great one. Okay, and Chess. Why does this quiet small town not have Whole Foods and Starbucks? Exactly. And that's what makes it a quiet small town. Don't come here from California and don't come here in California, our state. And that's a really good saying for Texas and a lot of states that are now turning purple. I prefer a red state. So if fans want to find you, because someone's getting jittery and had too much C4 today, if fans want to find you online, where could they find all your stuff?
Well, you can find me on any social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Micky Lynn, XOXO, MICKYLYNN, XOXO, and then MickyLynn.com for my website. It's easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy is what I say.
So it's MICKYLYNN. And do you have any messages for the fans this evening before we hop off?
Well, my thing is go out there and vote. Please vote. It doesn't matter if you like who you're voting for. Think of your country. You don't have to like the person you're voting for, because we all want to succeed in life. And if we have the other one in, we ain't going anywhere.
I like this one. Where's it? So this is douchebag Jasmin St. Man, where's the charging station for my Tesla, man, in the small town? If any of you catch up on Ice Cold Conservative, that's my other podcast. There is a scientist on there, Calvin Beisner, who talks about electric cars. So if you charge 3 or 4 electric cars, if you have 4 or 5 charging stations, it affects up to 3 blocks of residential electricity. So don't be that douchebag that goes and, charges your car and do all that stuff.
But remember, your grid has to handle it. I know your grid has to handle it. In California's grid doesn't handle it. Florida, our grid can handle it. We get discounts, just come to Florida, Jasmin. You need to get here.
Thank you. You have a great evening and stay in touch, and I will speak to you soon.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Okay, guys. So that is all for this Monday. I am very grateful you guys joined me. Don't forget to get out and vote early. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube and subscribe to my podcast on Apple, Krazy Train with Jasmin St. And every Monday is a live stream. I will try to live stream from Japan on Monday, even though it will be 9 a.m. in the morning. I'll be on a plane. Maybe I'll just log on and have the camera there out of the window. Who knows? But have a good one. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and to each other, and most of all, to stay frosty. Have a good night.